Hi everyone! So today's video is about sustainable activewear and what to look for when you're shopping for athletic apparel. So the first thing is function. Of course, you need something that is going to do what you need it to. So this is going to depend a lot on the kind of activities you do. But for the most part, people need things that are stretchy, comfortable, that breathe. Maybe you need waterproof properties if you're going to be doing things outdoors in rain. You might need it to keep you warm or keep you cool, and depending on the activity, you might need other functional elements like pockets or vents or certain kinds of seaming. For me, I primarily do yoga. I also do some bodyweight workouts and some running. So the main things I'm looking for is clothes that are stretchy, fairly tight-fitting, comfortable, breathable. I like having a built-in shelf bra in tops for yoga that I can also wear a sports bra with if I need to for something like running. And I also like to go hiking, so I want clothes that I can also wear for that as well. Now, the material the clothing is made out of is very important, and in a lot of other videos I've talked about how natural materials are often a better choice and how I personally really like sticking with natural materials. But with activewear, synthetics actually have quite a few advantages, and that has to do with the fact that natural materials tend to absorb moisture, whereas synthetic materials tend to repel moisture, and that can be really good, especially with things where you're sweating a lot or doing things outdoors and you need that weather and rain protection. It also helps the materials dry a lot faster, which can be great for things like swimwear or just clothes that you're maybe hand washing quite frequently. So a property that a lot of activewear materials have is wicking. And what that means is that it moves the moisture from your skin to the outside of the fabric so that it can more easily evaporate. Now, because activewear has a lot of new technologies and innovative materials, you'll see a lot of different names and like brand name materials, and those are often just different combinations of synthetic materials, different ways that those materials are made, or different blends of materials. But in general, a lot of activewear will contain spandex for stretch and then some sort of synthetic. The only natural fiber I've seen that has some of these properties is wool, and there is quite a bit of athletic wear that uses merino wool because it can also wick and it does have some water repellency so that it can stay dry and keep you both cool and warm. So that can be a great option, but like I've mentioned in my Fibers and Fabrics series, which I will link in the cards, there are some issues around wool and ethical issues, so I definitely recommend watching those videos. So a big sustainable dilemma with activewear is that synthetic fibers tend to not be very eco-friendly, but then a lot of the natural fibers aren't that well suited to activewear. So you have to make some compromises and I guess figure out what works best for you. I think one of the best options is looking for recycled synthetics. So that can either be previous synthetics that have been recycled and turned into new synthetics, or it can be recycled PET, and I think that is a much more common one, and that's basically synthetic materials made from recycled plastic bottles. So this is great because no new materials are created, but it does still have some issues where there still is microfiber pollution, which again I've talked about in some other videos, but that's basically where the small plastic fibers wash off of the garments and then get into the waterways and can pollute oceans and rivers and water systems. So that still is an issue with a synthetic garment. So I think it's still good to avoid synthetic fleece, which is one of the worst offenders for microfiber pollution. Some of the natural options include organic cotton, hemp, there's various blends, and also the synthetic naturals like lyocell or modal. And those will almost always have some spandex in them for stretch and also shape retention. And that's really good for both the activity, and it also generally means that the clothes will last longer and keep their shape longer, which is really good. But it does mean that it's not biodegradable or easily recycled. So again, all materials have their pros and cons. So I recently needed to replace some of my activewear, and I decided to go with a organic cotton and spandex top from Mandala, and it has a built-in shelf bra, which is what I was looking for. It's breathable because it's cotton. It's really comfortable and I think perfect for yoga. It's also great for hiking, and I can wear it running. And I decided to get some recycled PET capri pants from a brand called Tiki, which has really cool prints, and they're basic stretchy tight yoga pants. And I was really looking for a synthetic for the pants because especially this summer. We're going on quite a big camping trip, and I think I'm going to be wearing them a lot, so I wanted something that I could wash and dry pretty quickly. The only thing that I do regret not getting with either the top or the bottom is having a piece that had a little pocket, because when I go running, I like being able to put my keys somewhere. So that is the only thing that I think in hindsight I should have looked for something that had a little pocket. The pieces that I replaced lasted for at least 5 years, and I'm hoping that these items last for just as long. So I would say the number one thing to look for is quality and something that is going to last you a long time. Go with natural materials if they're appropriate for the item, and with synthetics, try to stick to recycled synthetics. And of course, look for companies that pay their workers a fair wage and manufacture in an ethical way. For brands, I would say Patagonia is the leader in sustainable activewear. They're doing some really innovative and interesting things, and I also really like how they don't push overconsumption. They want to make quality clothes that are going to last you a really long time. So I will link them below, as well as a bunch of other brands I've found that are doing different things around sustainable activewear. Finally, I've gotten a few questions about eco-friendly running shoes. Now, I fortunately haven't had to replace my old running shoes yet. They're still holding up fairly well, but I have done some research. So again, I'll include some links to a few companies that I've found. So if you're looking for running shoes, those might be good to check out. And again, I've said this before in other videos, but I think it's always good that when you're starting to shop for a new piece, to really think about what your priorities are, not only regarding the requirements of the piece, so with athletic wear to make sure that it fulfills all the functional requirements you need, but also to think about what your top priority is regarding sustainability and ethics. And focus on that main priority, because it's very hard to check all of the boxes. Unfortunately, there isn't just a ton of options available, especially in more niche things like sustainable activewear. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you found it helpful. As always, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments, or if there's any brands that I missed, it would be great if you could share those as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.